Hey there, folks. I am the Mighty Plantain, and I am fairly inebriated at this point. So it's time to try and kill the buzz with some Munchies. We're going to take a look here at Yakisoba, Maruchan Yakisoba noodles. This is a new Korean barbecue flavor. Now, there's not a lot on here that tells me exactly how spicy this is, but I expect Korean barbecue to be somewhat spicy and have a burn to it. But everything I've looked at says it's just a Korean barbecue flavor. Nothing about spice, nothing about like being loaded with kimchi or any kind of capsaicin-laden pepper. So I'm hoping that it's not overly spicy. Don't get me wrong, I can handle spicy shit. You've seen me drink spicy beers. I don't like spicy foods that much. Just the spiciness tends to overwhelm any sort of subtle flavor or taste in the food. So I'm hoping this is more of like a Korean style barbecue without being overly spicy, although I seem to think that Korean barbecue tends to be spicy. So, I don't know. What we're going to do is we're going to do what we typically do with these Maruchan Yakisoba noodles. Just pulling the outer layer off here for you. And apparently I don't necessarily need to keep the instructions intact because although they're on the back of the plastic, they're also on this part as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to start by opening this halfway and removing 2 packets, marked 1 and 2. So, halfway to the line, 2 packets, that's number 1. I know from experience that anything with dried goods is number 1. And then this flavoring packet that's completely opaque is number 2. So, pretty sure I know the next step, but I'm going to read it anyway. 2. Open packet number 1 containing dried garnishment and empty into the side space between the noodles and the container. Shake gently to settle. Let's do that now. Personally, I like to go a little bit extra. Shake as much of that material down as possible because I know it's going to give you the maximum flavor experience. When you got half that shit clinging to the top of the packet, then you're not getting it all. So, following that same logic, get it all down in between the noodles and the sidewall of the container, and make sure to tap that stuff out, and we're going to shake it gently, like it says. Pour water over noodles until it reaches the fill line indicated by the arrows. There are arrows inside of this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put water on this, and you know what? Thanks to the new setup in this temporary abode, you can watch me do that, because the sink is right over there. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run the water over the noodles themselves and try and soak this cake of noodles a little bit. As I set this down on a level surface to check that it's up to the line. It's up to the line. Now, pour water on top of noodles to the fill line. Fill line is done as indicated by arrows. Close lid and cook in microwave on high for 4 minutes. After cooking, leave in microwave for 1 minute to cool. So, I'm going to put this in the microwave, and I'm not going to make you wait to see all that. I'll pull it out when I'm done. Alright, now I only put this in for 3.5 minutes versus the 4 that the package recommends because my microwave is insanely strong And I've noticed that if I put things in for the recommended amount of time, like Hot Pockets, they will melt down and burn off. So, went a little conservative, went 3.5 minutes instead of 4. So, let it steep for the full 1 minute with the cap still, or the lid still on, as they recommend. And removed it from the microwave using the corners and carefully removing it. Now, removing lid, pour in packet number 2, mix in the powdered flavoring, and enjoy. Well, I will promise to do the first few steps there. I will not promise to enjoy it. We'll see how that goes. But, same thing as I did with the other one. Good, solid shake down to make sure everything is in the bottom. Now, here's what I find with ramen noodles in general. You got to empty this packet quickly, because if you kind of hover over it, the steam rising off of the noodles will actually make a lot of the flavor packets stick to the inside. So, got a nice big pile in the center. Just a slightly fine coating on the outside. But, pay a lot of attention to that, folks, because if you do any kind of ramen noodles, you will notice that if you do not empty the flavor packet quickly enough, you're going to wind up with a lot of that stuff still stuck to the inside of that foil packet, because the steam rose up, made it damp and moist, and the powder just stuck. So this is going to take a little bit of heavy mixing here, because what I'm looking for is to see that dark color in the middle there. See how dark that is compared to the noodles on the sides. I want that to be more consistent throughout. So, I'm just kind of pulling things up from underneath, making sure to get the water involved, because there is still some water in the bottom of this tray. I want to get that in there with the powder to kind of mix that as evenly as possible. And get these noodles fully coated with the flavor packet, because there's nothing worse than eating any sort of ramen noodle prepared like this and getting like some really bland forkfuls of noodles, and then suddenly getting like this intensely flavorful, gritty mouthful of noodles that's just got a ton of the flavoring stuck to it because you didn't mix it up good enough. So that can't possibly harp on this enough. Make sure you mix that shit into the noodles. I'm almost hoping that I don't like this that much, because honestly, when it comes to the Maruchan Yakisoba ramen noodles, it seems to be that teriyaki beef, teriyaki chicken, and chicken are the only 3 flavors that really stick around anywhere. They had the shrimp flavor that was so awesome, and now I can't even find that. I can't find it anywhere. Not at my local grocery store, not at my local Walmart. I'm even having trouble finding it, like, going through Amazon, and I'm sure as hell not buying it from somebody on Amazon who is an Amazon pantry. I'm not going to pay $20 for, 5 packets of ramen noodles that would have only cost me $1 or $2 in store, plus shipping, because it's some secondary vendor that's not Amazon Prime. So, yeah, that's just my little piece on it. But the shrimp ones are awesome. So I'm hoping that I'm kind of, like I said, kind of hoping that I don't like this that much, because I have a feeling it's going to go the way of the shrimp, and I won't be able to just buy it outright anywhere. Alright, I think I've got things pretty consistent there. Let me pull up another forkful. The color looks pretty consistent. I'm not seeing any clumps of a particular color or whatever, so that's a lot of noodles. I'm going to try and pull that off of the fork and get a more reasonable size chunk of noodles here. There we go. Alright. How is the Korean barbecue flavor of Maruchan noodles? It's got this sweet and smoky aroma. Sweet and smoky. It's 100% acceptable to slurp noodles, folks. Noodles, pasta, and noodle soup. And yeah, that is sweet and smoky. Very flavorful. It's not spicy. Not spicy at all, so don't worry about that Korean barbecue stigma with like kimchi and that kind of thing. Like I said, don't get me wrong. I can handle spicy. I don't particularly like it, though, in my foods. In my beers, I consider it a bit of a manly challenge, but in my foods, the spiciness tends to be overwhelming and just interfere with actual flavor. That is good. There's this awesome, sweet and smoky barbecue flavor to these noodles. Sweet and smoky. That's really the best I can do to explain it. Sweet, smoky barbecue. Pretty damn good. I'm not getting, I mean, maybe some subtle hints of pork, but mostly just this nice, sweet, smoky barbecue sauce flavor combined with some great noodles. It's not like the beef teriyaki or the chicken teriyaki where it actually gives you that teriyaki flavor. It's just sweet, smoky barbecue. It's pretty damn good. I'd recommend it. I'm going to eat this whole thing. I'm not going to make you watch that because that's kind of gross. Damn good. Damn good. Check it out. Let me know in the comments and the email link down below if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what you thought of it in general. Until next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Drink up and snack on.